House of GlamDolls Glam Academy palettes. I'm going to go through and swatch them all for you, but I wanted to kind of take you through verbally in a video and show you them all first of all. I'm completely obsessed with these. They are so cool. I love that it's basically a face of makeup in a palette. Obviously it's not foundations and stuff like that, but you've got eyeshadows, you've got your bronzer or contour, your blush, and your lip products all in one. You've also got within each box, and the box looks like this, a little pull-out pamphlet with 4 different looks on it. And the 4 different looks correspond to the palette that you've bought, and it gives you a full step-by-step of how to achieve that particular look. So for example, you buy Fairy Doll for this particular look. Obviously the world is your oyster, you've got tons and tons of colour combinations there, but the idea is that it's some kind of education that you're getting from this palette. So you are looking at this and thinking, if I buy this palette, not only will I get everything that I need to do this, but I will also get a step-by-step guide as to how to do this, which I think is really, really great. So you've got your different options. Some are kind of more bold than others, but you do get a general idea by looking at the outside of the packaging of the palette. This is the kind of vibe that we're going for. So you know with the Fairy Doll look, this is a colourful palette. You know with the Vintage Doll look that you're going to get a more classic selection of colours. Do you know what I mean? So it just gives you a little bit of a guide. So let's get into them because they're all different. And as I look at them, there are definitely some things kind of to note. First of all, well, I'm going to save the best till last, or what I personally think is the best because it's a little bit quirky. Let's start with this one, which is kind of one that a lot of you might go for, and that's Vintage Doll. It's kind of the most neutral of the bunch. So we have 4 brow powders, we have 3 highlighters, 4 lip colours, 2 cheek colours, and however many, what is this? I know I have it written down somewhere. 10 powder eyeshadows, and they're all different. I don't know of any crossover between them, unless there's just kind of like a matte black or something. It's totally different, so it's not a matter of kind of you get one that suits you best. You might want a couple of them to mix and match, especially with the cheek colours. You'll find they differ massively, and I really, really like these particular ones. I like that colour for this time of year especially. Next, moving on to the second most neutral one, which is Spirit Doll. Slightly more colours there, slightly less colour in the cheeks, especially if you're pale like me, these appeal, because I'm really heavy-handed and I like something that will build up rather than give me a really, really wow colour straight away. But we'll talk about that in a second because there are some of those. Again, we've got 3 highlights, and I think that across the board, until we get to the final one, the highlights and the brow powders are all the same. And then again, 4 different shades that we've got here. This one, do we get this in all of them? I don't think so. No. This one is kind of a slightly iridescent, to my eye anyway, and when I've swatched it in the other palette, it's a slightly iridescent balm. So you could wear that on its own, on top of one of the other ones, or underneath, mix it in, whatever you wanted to do. But these are the lip colours that maybe would appeal to me most out of all the palettes. Definitely feel like I could pick and choose. I don't feel like any one palette is like, that is all me. I feel like I'd need at least 2. Next is Exotica Doll, and this one is bordering on more colourful, especially in the eyeshadows. You've got some pops of colour in there, but nothing kind of too garish, and then you've got something that could be a bronzer or a contour and a blush colour. I still feel like this is relatively neutral. It's not until we get to the Fairy Doll where we get to the really, really bold and colourful palette, and it looks like this. And some of these colours could look a little bit scary. I mean, it is mostly colourful. But there are a couple of differences here. One, this is definitely a contour. It's not just a normal bronzer colour. This would have to be a contour. It's very, very cool. And if you're very pale like me, this would be a really great contour for you. Or even on the eyes and stuff. I like that. This, some of you would just be like, no, I'm not doing it. And then there'll be people that are absolutely going crazy for this. And I really like this purple colour. Although I am quite heavy-handed and I try to steer away from really, really bright colours on my cheeks, I tend to wear my bronzer. I tend to wear my blush really high on my cheeks, and this kind of colour really lends itself well to that. It's a little bit of an 80s throwback for me, and I really like that. Again, we've got some slightly alternative colours in the lips as well. Really, really bright, very, very dark burgundy, and then this is like a teal blue-green colour for lips. And the only palette that has something slightly different for brows, and it's a red. And it's quite a vibrant red as well, so we're definitely kind of more alternative with the colours on this one. I really, really like that this has been put together with the House of GlamDolls, because there's definitely something more of a, not more of a professional element, but more of a creative element put into this. There's obviously, there's been more thought put into the entire palette being a theme, and I really, really like that. The idea that you can pick it up and you know that everything will go together, everything, absolutely everything for your face basically will go together within this one palette. I really, really like that. It's a bit different, and something that I think a lot of people will appreciate. But when it comes to actually choosing which one I like the best, I'm really struggling. I think I'd probably pick two of them, and it would probably be Vintage Doll and is it Doll? Are they all Doll? Fairy Doll. Yeah, Vintage Doll and Fairy Doll, because I'd like to pick between the neutrals and be able to pop in and out of the super bright colours as well. But anyway, if you have any questions, and as always, if you've got any particular product requests, let me know and I will try to accommodate them all. I will have a visiting YouTuber helping me out for the next couple of weeks, because I want someone else to show you some stuff that maybe I've shown you before. There's some box sets and some great things for Christmas that I want someone else's opinion on, and I want you to hear them, you know, other people talk about these things, not just me. So I'm going to have some kind of YouTube guests over the coming weeks, and we're going to talk about gift guides and things that would be really suitable for gifts as well from Freedom. So thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please go and do it now so that you don't miss these things, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!